coming.
Oh my God, you guys, I am so excited right now because in the studio we have Kinnie Daley. Let's give it up. Kinnie Daley, how are you, sir?
I'm good, thank you. Thank you very much for having me.
That is awesome, man. Anytime. So, how's your week been? What's been going on?
Work, kids, stress, life, the life of an artist, the life of a man, the life of someone in the rat race.
The life of life, yo.
Yeah, the life of life, the life of living, the life of living.
So what's your real artist name? Do people call you Kinnie Daley or do they call you Kinnie? What's your artist name?
So my artist name is Kinnie Daley.
Okay.
And Kinnie Daley is my surname.
Okay.
Kinnie is a family nickname that was given to me pretty much from birth. I'm only my real name when I'm in trouble. Or I'm at work.
Cool.
But 99% of the time, I am Kinnie Daley. And I like to think that my music is reflective of that. I'm not trying to put on a facade. You're not going to listen to my music and be like, nah, Kinnie and the real person are two different people. They are the same person.
Okay. That's a weird one, that is, kind of thing, because I've always just been told to fragment the different personalities, kind of thing, because you've got like the producer, and then you have like the singer, then you have the rapper, and then you have like the one that engineers it, then you have the business person that goes in front of all the labels and say, this is my shit, kind of thing, like listen to it. So it's almost like a fragmentation for me personally, kind of thing. So it's refreshing to know that for you it's all encompassing, the one person. How do you find that then? Like doing all that as just the one person,
It's
or
hard.
the one persona, I should say.
It's hard, and I honestly say one of the biggest hindrances is doing stuff by yourself and not having a team. Like you said, it would be a lot easier if we had the management, the people to talk to the businesses. We had the in-house producers, the in-house engineers, in-house stylists, and the whole team to put together what we see on MTV, for example.
Yeah.
If every artist had that team, every artist would be in a much better position than they are currently.
I hear that.
Myself included.
So let's go back. How long have you been doing music? How long have you been rapping and producing and stuff?
So I first started producing when I left school and got into college. So I was 16. So we're almost 20 years.
Okay.
So I'm not going to give away my age too tough, but almost 20 years.
So what was the spark? What was that that catalyst that got you to say, okay, this is what I want to do?
Driving around with my dad on the school run or wherever.
Okay.
Because it was just music. Everything me and my dad did together outside of sports was music. And when I say music, it was literally just driving around listening to his favourite albums of the time.
What was those?
So,
what was those? The English is so terrible. What were those?
So I was raised on everything Babyface.
Okay. Yes.
Everything Teddy Riley. And
yeah.
Everything Earth, Wind and Fire.
Oh God, yes.
So if you encompass everybody who Babyface ripped for and everybody who Teddy Riley produced for, that's a big span of artistry who I was raised on.
That's a crazy kind of thing, but I haven't heard you do any New Jack Swing. I need to hear that from you, kind of thing. If Teddy Riley is one of your inspirations, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
kind of thing,
so
some New Jack Swing on the go.
So if I had the voice, I've got the pen, but I do not have the voice, and if I could knock out them songs,
rap a New Jack Swing beat, that would be interesting, actually.
It would be interesting, but it's not what as a Teddy Riley fan, a New Jack City boy, innit? It's not what I want to hear on a New Jack City beat. Like, if I could pull out the Michael Jackson vocals
yeah.
and a Teddy Riley style beat, I'd be all over it like cheese on chips. But I do not have that range. I do not have that in my artillery.
So you mentioned like Teddy Riley and Babyfaces kind of thing, and them lot from the 80s and the 90s, really and truly. Who inspires you? Is that who inspires you? Is that like where you get your inspiration for your music from?
At the core, yeah, probably. With Babyface's ability to write about love and touch on feelings of emotion. Teddy Riley's, even his ability to produce them kind of songs as well. With that being what I was raised on, essentially R&B is the core to my music.
Mm-hmm.
And largely my content on top of that. It's rhythm and blues. I'm talking about heartache. I'm talking about breakups. I'm talking about falling in love and sneaking around trying to get love and whatnot. So essentially, I'm just a rapper with an R&B heart.
Nice. It's the best way. It's the best ones, I think, kind of thing. Because I'm an artist, babies. I grew up on the the Jam and Lewis's, the what they're called kind of thing. Puff Daddy and his Bad Boy Crew, the So Def kind of thing.
Jermaine Dupri
Like,
was So Def.
I
was
love
there
them.
for that.
Like,
For the shiny suits of Bad Boy, I was there for that.
Yo, it was a legendary time for those guys. You know what I'm saying, kind of thing. And because they incorporated so much R&B in their music, and I love R&B as it is, kind of thing. So that was just my genre.
It made, like, especially Puff Daddy and the whole Bad Boy era at the time in the 90s, innit?
Mm-hmm.
I feel that they commercialized rap and hip hop.
They did.
They made it accessible for women to now sing along to, innit? And without that venture, I'd have still been listening to A Tribe Called Quest and trying to be on my kind of fun-loving, conscious and whatnot. But thank God the fusion of R&B and hip-hop came together, because I am here for it. I am still here for it. 20 years later, I'm still trying to do R&B and hip-hop together as best as I can.
The thing is, like, even though it's 20 years ago, there's a resurgence. Do you think there's a resurgence these days, kind of thing, of the music from the 90s? We were talking earlier on about Beyonce and how she's done a whole renaissance of the 90s, dance and funk kind of thing that we used to hear in the clubs. And I think we were talking. I said to you that I personally think that she did it for the gays. You know what I mean, kind of thing. So do you think there's a resurgence of 90s music that's coming back into the mainstream because of your kids?
There is the resurgence of I don't even want to say like just 90s, but the resurgence of say the 2000s as well, with the likes of the H&RD sampling Flowers and Ashanti respectively.
Mm-hmm.
It's coming back, but I think the way it's been sampled and redeveloped and reissued is trash. Honestly, there's not a lot of R&B now, or even hip hop, rap now that I look to and find inspirational. There's been very few albums in the past since lockdown. We'll just narrow it down to lockdown. There's been very few albums that have inspired me. There's been very few artists that have inspired me to pick up a pen, dust off the keyboard, dust off the drum machine, and get back to it. There's been, I can probably name 2 artists, 2 albums that since lockdown I've been bumping, and it's been inspirational. Like man's been ready to pick up the pen and okay.
I've got an album for you. I'm going to give it to you after the show, kind of thing, for you to listen to or stream it, whatever kind of thing. But speaking of music, let us go into one of your tracks, kind of thing. So
Most of my niggas, we got a Draco. All of my niggas, we got a Lilo. I took a bullet for all my day ones. And none of you niggas could never say none. Line me up, I come out like I'm Macon. I light of the city, I come like Akon. Middle finger sticking to the bacon. And now they got me in the corner, now my case now.
That girl really got me stressing. I just wanna see my son while you messing. The shit is depressing, there's nothing to learn, so I haven't learned my lesson. Yo, what I gotta do? Yo, what I gotta prove? I loved you so much, but that wasn't enough. No, not enough for you. Then you pulled out the gun, pulled the trigger. So you're damn fucking right, I am bitter. And just like Janae, I am triggered. Now I'm posted on the ends with my niggas. Yo, Ink's on the track, Jekyll the singer, Phantom in the back, and a room full of women. Yo, a room full of winners. A room full of winners.
Most of my niggas, we got a Draco. All of my niggas, we got a Lilo.
Yes, that was Lalo by Kinnie Daley featuring Inks and Jekyll. You see, for me, that track here, you know what it's about? It's the keys. It just gives me that gospel vibe. It gives me that, also the sample, you know, the Vox sample that she's got, you know, the, that. Tell me about the track.
So the track. So the track is B23, Erdington's finest, in it. Myself, Inks, and his family member Jekyll. I don't know what the family relation is, but I know their family in it. And we linked up one time through a connection, Phantom, ambitious producer. And yeah, they presented me with the tune. Inks presented me with the hook, and I was like, yo, let me jump on it, please. The tune got recorded. Everybody was happy, excited about it, and I was like, yo, I want to throw it on my project, and I don't know which project, but let me take it, run with it. We'll split everything equal ways in it, and let me see what I can do with it.
Okay.
And everybody co-signed it. So that's how that came about. Yeah, man, real life stories, isn't it? Real life stories, my verse. Yeah, real life, read into it, listen to it, read into it, digest it. Real life. I'm not chatting no breeze on that one.
So, yeah, you were talking about real life on there, and I heard some of the lyrics kind of thing. So, talk about some of the challenges that you've faced kind of thing as a musician, as an artist, trying to, you know, emerge on this music scene.
So I left school, studied music in college, left college, studied music at university, dropped out of university because I thought I knew better. Stayed in London for a few years, networking, developing myself, my sound. Came broke, came back home came back to bro in it, and then continued developing, continued finding myself, finding my sound, finding my style, and whatnot. And I think one of the biggest challenges that I found is coming from a time without social media and now being into a time where social media is so prevalent. I was anti-social media when it was introduced to us. Didn't have time for it, couldn't be bound for it. Didn't see the need for people to know about my personal life on a daily basis. And largely, I still have them same thoughts and values in it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, as much as I'm an artist and I'm a creative, excuse me, 90% of my life, I'm working and I'm a father first. Like, when I do music, it's my hobby. It's what I do when I'm in my downtime and I haven't got daddy duties, I haven't got work. Music's what I like to do. So because I'm not 100% focused on music, because I have external obligations to maintain, I can't put my all into it. Because as we discussed earlier, being a one-man ship is hard.
Difficult.
It's hard to do everything by yourself. As I said, if we all had the team, like a manager, a stylist, a videographer, photographer, someone just, I hear social media account things, people run people's social media accounts. If one of the men then wanted to do that for me, innit? For free.
Yes.
Like,
I understand them
it's
ones.
like I watched the Kanye documentary on Netflix, the trilogy,
Mm-hmm.
and the one thing that stood out to me was Kanye's brethren was so invested in Kanye that he just quit his job, invested in a camera, and dove in at the deep end in it. I'm not brave enough to dive in at the deep end.
Okay. See, like, because we're on the subject of internet kind of thing and social media, so do you think it's a hindrance, or do you think it has its advantages kind of thing as well? Because I'm of the same mind as you. I'm a child of the 80s. I was born in 1980, God damn it. And so when I was growing up, there wasn't no such thing as going on. I mean, back, like say in 1996, 97, we got the internet kind of thing, and it was a whole dial-up thing, and there was ICQ, but we weren't standing on ICQ for like hours upon end kind of thing. It was like this like live chat thing that you can see the people typing. Do you know what I mean? And then, you know, a few years after that, MySpace came. But the way I grew up kind of thing, even back in the day, we weren't on the phones like that. We were outside playing and shit. You know what I mean? Like when you were selling records, when people were selling their records, they would go on tour and sell their records on a stand, fucking at the goddamn concert. Do you know what I mean?
One of my inspirations in hip hop, like not musically, but on a business sense, is Master P.
Yeah.
Because his whole story was he made his first meal selling mixtapes from the trunk of his car. Like those were the stories that we were brought up on, that inspired us. But now, people are making 15-second videos and going viral.
And it's only that 15 seconds that they're getting viral for, because if they made the whole tune, the people aren't used to listening to the whole tune.
And I'd even argue prior to social media and the 15-second viral fame, and before that, you had the X Factors. People wanted their 5 minutes of fame there, and people were doing the utmost to get an X Factor.
Yeah.
And people were voting for it. Or people were tuning in and they're getting their ratings, and X Factor's now, 20 seasons deep or something? So
This motherfucker started social media, didn't he?
Yeah, pretty much.
Wow. God. Yeah, so do you think it's a hindrance, or do you think it's like for you kind of thing in your life, or do you feel like it helps you a lot with your marketing and your PR and stuff like that when you're releasing stuff?
So for me, I don't utilize social media to any advantage. If I've got something I want to put out, it's literally one post.
Okay.
And once that one post is out there, I'm done with it, innit? Like, I'll put it to bed.
Okay.
Like, as soon as something gets posted onto social media for me, that project is done and dusted. So when the album gets posted, boom, the album's out, guys. Here's the link. Go buy it, do your thing. I'm on to the next thing now.
Okay.
But I've already started creating, planning, doing what I need to do behind the scenes to get the next project underway and finalised. But then it goes back to what I was saying. If I had a team and somebody was sitting on my social media and posting up like 100 video clips for promotion for one tune, cool, innit? But I ain't got the time in day to do that.
Yeah, I mean, like, I barely find the time. It's completely craziness kind of thing, and I know I'm supposed to utilize it even more than I am now, but I literally have a life, and I need to live, and sometimes I need a break away from the screen, because you know what I mean, kind of thing. Like, I'm here, and you know, like you do for
Sorry
me.
to cut you off, but the key thing I think you've said there is the break away from the screen. And,
Yeah, man.
and ultimately, I like to make music, to listen to music.
Mm-hmm.
And we mentioned this earlier as we was on the way here. I was saying, since the internet, even before social media, but since the internet and like post MTV and music videos, people have stopped listening to music
True.
through their ears.
True. It's
People-
now through their eyes.
Yeah, people now watch music. People's videos will hit 1 million streams before the audio will on SoundCloud or Bandcamp or whatever, because people are digesting music through their eyes and not their ears.
Yeah.
So for me, I'm not interested in the visuals so much. Like, I've got visuals out there, don't get me wrong.
Mm-hmm.
I ain't putting no money into it, and it like, yo, my brethren's that cameraman, £50 here, £100 there, da 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 da. Videos edited myself, da 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 da. Or if I can't be bothered, or I've got an idea that someone can do it, yo, £30-50 here, there, yo, make this work, innit?
I just
My
think you have.
friends doing it on the cheap and cheerful, because the visuals for me, like, I remember the days where you'd be lucky if an album was released and it had a video.
Yeah, true. It's true.
Like the most,
Like SWV, like
the visual
like-
content to accompany a single or an album was to open up the CD case and take out
the sleeve.
the sleeve, and you'd see the pictures that were in there, a little write up, you see the credits, it may even have all the lyrics printed, but that was the visual accompaniment to the album or single.
Yeah, until Michael Jackson and the Berry Gordy's kind of thing, and them lot and just came and uniformed everything and made everything like
But essentially,
visuals.
you had to be a top tier artist to be getting them videos. If you didn't have the money and the backing and whatever, your visual representation was the CD sleeve,
Mm-hmm.
and I like that. Like, I don't have to be in front of a camera all the time, exposing myself on big screen, little screen, medium screen. Like, I want my audience to listen to my music.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want you to watch my music. I want you to listen to what I have to say, listen to the music, listen to the instrumentation.
I hear that. I hear you. It's just that because I've just studied the shit kind of thing. It's like, and it's almost forcing me to be more strategic about the way that I release music. Do you know what I mean? Because to be able to like capitalize on your streams, you know what I mean, kind of thing, and get some kind of revenue, for crying out loud, we have to, you know what I mean, like follow what the kids are doing. It's unfortunate. It is unfortunate, and it is much to my chagrin that we have to, but we
I'd
have
say
to.
my biggest marketing tool is an old school tool that probably people don't utilize, but it seems to be working for me.
What's that?
Emails. Construct a very good email with all your links, a press write-up, a free song or two, and send it out. And that is the majority of my promotion. Is I've got an email list. Every time I get a new project, I get someone to do me a press write-up, copy and paste that into the email, post all the links, and just send.
Nice.
Done.
Nice. And sometimes that's the best, more effective way as well, kind of thing, because you're getting into people's personal emails, you know what I mean?
Yeah, like if you've got the email list and you got the contacts, like for me, I'm not saying I'm balling, I'm not living no mansion, you're not gonna see me on GRN Daily flossing no diamonds.
This is the thing though, I feel like you're the kind of person that even if like, or when you have that kind of money to spend, I don't think you'll be like that either.
No, I wouldn't, but what my point is, what I'm doing now is bringing me back a return of investment.
True. Do you release on Bandcamp or do you release on the other DSPs?
All of them.
Okay.
All of them. Like release them independently or myself.
I need to try Bandcamp. I haven't tried that yet, kind of thing. I was a little bit dubious because I was going through my first release the other day, and I didn't know what to put it on because the marketing team that I hired, they wanted it all to be on Spotify kind of thing, so they could track the amount of streams that it was getting and shit like that kind of
Oh, you
thing.
can do all that on Bandcamp. Like literally just whatever price you want to put it on the Spotify, so the Apples or whatever to sell the single or product. Price it the same.
Mm-hmm.
And if your marketing team really want, just give them your account details. They can log in.
Sure, and track it that way.
And literally like collect the same data and information, and it's there.
True.
Like,
I need to get more capital from bank company. I think they want to take what 20%, 30% or something like that.
I know there's been a fair few months, especially during COVID, and they haven't been taking an fee. So anything especially during lockdown, Bandcamp would have been giving fee 3 months. And
Do you know who's good for that as well? Sound On. Have you heard of them?
Mm-hmm.
So Sound On, yeah, they're a new distributor, and they're basically the ones that they're in partnership with TikTok. And so what I've been finding, and it's such a nightmare kind of thing. So I've released my stuff through DistroKid. DistroKid is released it and everything. But when I go onto like TikTok or Instagram, they're telling me that my motherfucking music that I'm promoting, that I'm releasing, is copywritten. And I have to fucking find a letter. I basically have to draft a letter to fucking Meta to tell them this is my shit. Can you stop fucking with my posts?
Yeah.
And then with TikTok, that just hasn't worked with them kind of thing. So, but with Sound On, they release, because they're partners with TikTok kind of thing. Your stuff gets released on TikTok kind of thing after a while.
Oh, okay.
And so you can like basically go there and actually use like your shit as a sound in your videos kind of thing.
Because I still want people to actually listen to my music.
Mm-hmm.
Like, man, don't give a shit about TikTok, innit? I'm just throwing it out there. Anything to do with like say Instagram promotion, Facebook promotion, TikTok promotion, any handheld device promotion, I do not care. Like, talk to me when you want to come put up my poster on a billboard. And
okay, cool.
them ones that are like apps and that, like, yeah. Let me throw my one post on Instagram and be done in it. Let's be
Cool. So, what would you be your dream collaborations?
What collaborate with me as an artist, or
Yeah.
to listen to as a consumer?
To collaborate with as an artist.
Okay, Prince. I'm
Okay.
going to throw that one out there. Whether it be as a producer or as an artist, Prince would have to be number one.
Mm-hmm.
He was just too good.
Yeah,
he was a genius beyond his time. I don't think we'll ever truly appreciate how gifted my man was.
Oh no, I appreciate him fully, kind of thing. I'm a massive Prince fan.
Yeah, I even love all 3 films, and even one of them was very questionable.
I think all 3 of them questionable. I just love them all.
Oh yeah, all 3 were questionable.
Right.
There was Purple Rain. That was Purple Rain. You can't say nothing about that. Under the Cherry Moon, the black and white one. If you're an artsy-fartsy head, which I like to think I was during my time at university, and when I came across that film, like, yo, and it was Prince, yo. Yeah, man, I was into it. And then there was what was the other one? Under Graffiti Bridge. That was trash, man. That was worse than Moonwalker. Moonwalker was bad, and I'm a Michael Stan.
Do you know what the thing is? I didn't even watch Moonwalker because I was too freaked out at that time, and I still haven't watched it to this day because it freaked me out when I was 6 years old or 7 years old when it came out. I was like, this is the most horrible, horror film I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, you're not missing much with Moonwalker.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so what's your next project? What's going on? Tell us about your next project that you got coming out.
So the next thing I'm probably directly working on is the volume 2 of my unofficial remix series.
Okay.
The first one's out now on all platforms, unofficial remix. The next one, Your 2, unofficial remix 2. That's what it's going to be called. I'm just in the process of finding all the beats I want to remix and sample. Because that's the thing with my unofficial remix series, it's all beats that I would love to have heard myself on.
Okay, yeah.
as a signed artist.
Yeah. I often play those games, kind of thing with my friends. Then, like, if you was to write any song in the world, what would it be?
Yeah. That's my unofficial remix series, isn't it?
Yeah.
So on the first one, I covered Floetry Say Yes.
I heard that. That was nice.
Yeah, man, real stories, real stories.
Mm-hmm.
There was a track by Masego, a track by Maxwell, a track by FKJ. T-Pain, I think that one got thrown on there. And there was another one. So they were all the instrumentals or samples that we've taken to get that EP. And it's going to be the same again, just different. The idea is to find a whole bunch of new artists, well, not even new artists, but old songs, old artists that I would have loved to have heard myself on, record them out, throw that EP out there, and then we'll jump back into a new album, of which it's just an idea as yet. There's been no footwork put into the album yet. I'm just focused on the EP.
Yeah. Okay, cool, nice. Okay, then cool. So we've come to nearly the end of our little session. Yo, thank you so much for coming in, Kinnie. I really appreciate it.
You're very welcome. It's been a pleasure to be here. It's been happy to chat to you.
Cool, man. Nice, and good luck on the next projects. And definitely we'll have to look out that kind of thing and collaborate with some tracks and stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man. Plug me in. Any beats, send my way. Plug me in.
Cool. Will do. All right, then take it easy. Thanks for coming in.
Thank you very much, sir.
So we're gonna go to the next track, and we're gonna play Kinnie Daley. Yeah, I want to play Melodies of a Nice Guy.
You out there?
Rise with the sun, ready, get fresh and I'm gone. Just like an early bird, I get the worm. At times it's been a struggle, persevered through dirt. Been to the ends of the earth and back. Now I'm on track, 9 to 5 grind, I'm a hustle on the side. Grown man swag with my queen by my side. Future in frames, pictures, poster boy for the new G's of the era. Gangsters and gentlemen, whether from town or London, I teamed up with DQ and them. We fit the new groove on them. I brought it back home and now I'm shining like the sun on them. Laid back and easy on a Sunday. Kick back, relax, roll a split from bun grade. Reflect upon my life and know today is a good day. Melodies of a nice guy, always keep a smile as the days go by. A hop in my step and a song in my head, I'll never let a good moment pass me by. Melodies of a nice guy, always keep a smile as the days go by. A hop in my step and a song in my head, I'll never let a good moment pass me by.
On tempo, yeah.
Incoming.